All right, what is up, everybody? Thanks for jumping on with us as we kick things off today to open it up for another great AMA here at Gollums Gyms. And today we'll be chatting with the team behind Meme Alliance, who have a really unique concept to unite the most popular memes in the crypto space through GameFi and their FPS game. And fresh off a successful pre-sale launch coming up within a couple of hours, and we will get the full scoop here very soon. But first, quick reminder, there are a couple of random listeners taking home some prizes today, as well as the best question at the end of the segment, and you can send those in directly to me via DM. I'm going to do my best to ask them on your behalf. Once again, we have Meme Alliance in the building. We have Johnny Dapp and El Moshi jumping on with us. Let me get you guys unmuted here. El Moshi, I got you. Johnny Dapp, I got you as well. And guys, while we're getting the audio on, check out the website. You have to look at this white paper. Really well done. Meme-alliance.com. You can also find all the links in the latest Gollums Gyms post. But Johnny and El Moshi, welcome on, guys.
Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I love launch days myself personally, so I know this is a big day for you guys as well. Fresh off a really good, pre-sale, and obviously a lot of strong foundation being set, going into the launch today. I'm excited to hear more. Before we kick it off, I'd love to toss it over to you guys, maybe for an intro into yourselves and maybe a high level into the project.
Sure, I'll let Johnny go first, if you don't mind, Johnny. I don't know if you hear me, actually, guys. You do hear me, right?
Yeah, I saw the mic briefly moving a little bit earlier. I'm not sure if it's working for him.
But it's working for me, right? You hear me well?
Yeah, I hear you perfect.
All right, so I'll start then. Well, so we are the developers indeed behind Meme Alliance. And Meme Alliance is, as you said, a unique concept. And it's not about what often meme communities do, creating a division, right? A lot of meme communities, they are very close towards other meme communities. What we are trying to do with Meme Alliance, and what we will probably succeed with, because I think the concept is strong and the idea is strong, is to unite them into one gamify ecosystem. And as you said, you mentioned it, FPS, first-person shooter. That's the first game we are going to release. And that game is actually already in development since 5 months. So it's not like this that we just started building it because we decided to launch a token. This has been well planned before. So already 5 months we've been building, and we are already at the stage that we have an offline kind of demo, which we can launch and we can show you guys. We will do that on the background soon. I'm not sure if our Elmofo dev is here. Let me check, because he can in the meanwhile stream so people can look at it. Or otherwise,
yeah,
maybe Johnny, if he's at the PC. Let me see if
all
he's
right.
here.
Elmofo, I got you unmuted.
Yes. So he will be streaming the game. So basically, like you said, we had a pre-sale, a very successful one. We sold out 180 ETH hard cap within 5 hours, which is a big performance. And obviously that is because we, first of all, did good marketing. Second of all, I think is because of the concept. And third of all is because we already have quite a big community behind us. Because at the same time, we are also the developers of Elmo ERC. Not sure if anybody heard about it. It's still a low market cap meme coin, which we already launched back in May. Initially, the idea was to launch the game with Elmo ERC as the native token. However, after speaking with multiple professionals in the GameFi sector, we decided to launch a separate token for it, simply because a lot of people, they don't look into memes, right? They're not interested into memes. A lot of people, they simply don't trust memes. And that's why they said you should launch a separate token. And that's what we did. And so the hard cap was filled. And at the same time, today we are launching in basically 2 hours from now.
I love it, man. I happen to have a chance to check out, a lot of the just the visuals that you guys have out, some of the trailers and whatnot that's on the YouTube channel. You also have them in the white paper as well. So obviously I implore everybody, go check out some of these firsthand too. I love that we have it here in the background, but I mean, it looks really cool, man. And I would love to just kind of like dive right into.
The problem though with Telegram is that it's very laggy, so you don't really see the fluency of it, but it's very fluent. It's very high quality. And you can see that on our videos, right? The good thing is that probably in 2 weeks from now, maybe 3, we should be able to release an offline beta for everyone to play already, meaning that you can actually create or choose a character, get into the game, and play right offline against bots. So you can kind of get an idea and a feel of the game. After a while, the next milestone would be a fully completed multiplayer game, which we hope to have in January, early January, maybe half. And the last step which we will have for this game is to do the on-chain integration, meaning that we will connect it with the marketplace, and the game will recognize basically the assets which you own through NFTs which you buy on the marketplace.
I mean, I love that we have, this as a visual in the background as we speak, because it kind of lets us go right into, the player experience a little bit more. So I guess as we're seeing it, you were just talking about the NFTs and whatnot, but are people going to be able to get random drops throughout these, or is it going to be like performance based, like if they win competitions and whatnot? What's the experience on that side like?
Yeah, so basically it's going to be like that you don't necessarily have to pay to play, right? It's not you don't need an access pass or anything like that, so it's free to play. And we also will be including a level system. So you have a character and you level it up, and every single level you unlock something, right? So that can be in the form of assets, can be in the form of weapons, and can also be in the form of tokens, right? That you kind of have a play to earn aspect to it at the same time.
Very cool, man. So there's going to be a marketplace as well. Obviously, it's going to spark I guess the in-game economy, but also in a way the token economy as well. It's going to keep things moving on that front. I mean, walk me through, I guess, a little bit more about the interactions player to player. Obviously, people are going to be able to at some stage play against each other in a competitive environment, but outside of that, interacting with each other through chat, through trading. I'd love to hear more and like how it kind of blends the token in too.
Yeah, so I mean, the token is going to be, first of all, the token that can be earned inside the game, but it will also be the token that can be used to buy the items, right? But the token is not only going to be around this game, we're also going to actually integrate some unique staking platform where you basically stake the MMA token to earn other meme coins. So you don't earn MMA when you stake, but you earn, for example, if you want to Pepe or Ship or Flocky, whichever you want, right? There will be a variety of options. You choose basically which token you want to earn, you lock your MMA, and you just get passive income out of it.
Very cool. I like when there's a lot of ways to interact in the ecosystem. All right, so I'm still watching it, man. I'm kind of mesmerized by the video in the background here. Like when you guys were developing this or whatnot, like what was the inspiration when you chose, I guess, this style of shooter? This, I understand like the overall concept of uniting in getting a little bit of share of every meme's attention and stuff like that. But when it comes to like the actual gameplay, where was the big inspiration from?
I mean, the gameplay, if it's about dynamics, we focused on the dynamics of Call of Duty, right? So similar type of gameplay dynamics. And if it's about visuals, we kind of have a combination of sci-fi, realism, and meme, right? One of our developers always says Unreal Tournament in a way. But when I see it, it reminds me mostly of Call of Duty, especially the shooting. It's like as if you're playing Call of Duty, and I think that's what is based off mainly the gameplay, because Call of Duty just has amazing gameplay, right? And ours will be maybe, I'm not saying it will be better than Call of Duty, it will be different, but it will definitely be a very fluent gameplay with amazing dynamics.
Man, I can't wait to see something like this. I feel like especially low cap crypto or just crypto in general just needs something interactive that has a big player base, a big user base like this. It'd be a ton of fun to see it live. And I guess, testing the thresholds, right? Obviously you guys are going to be doing some stress testing and making sure you're ready for launch. When things start going live with like multiplayer features and, server loads and whatnot, I mean, how do you guys prepare for something like that if it does catch on?
That's also why we included the different memes, because we also allow kind of their token to be part of the ecosystem, being by kind of creating use case for them, right? So that's for next time as well.
Very good. So I guess going a little bit more into it, I mean, talking about the available play styles that are going to be coming out of the gate, I do see a couple of different deathmatch styles. I see capture the flag, last man standing. So this is going to be really, really fun in that sense, really interactive. There's also going to be a revenue share and burn element that I was going to toss over to you if you wanted to touch on.
Yeah, so the revenue share is kind of in a way that because people will be able to buy assets and weapons and items on our marketplace with different types of meme coins. So we don't want to be like that. We take the full revenue of that and we dump on the chart. We actually want to share it in a way that, first of all, we will share it through the gameplay, right? So winnings, tournaments, and so on. But also, if meme projects are prepared to, clearly like state that they have a partnership with us, we are also prepared to give it back to their community, right? Either in the form of staking, in the form of giveaways, and also like you mentioned, burns. Like ship community, they love burns, for example, right? And I can imagine that they would be very bullish if we would be burning a lot of ship in this game. That's kind of the idea of the revenue share and burn.
Very cool. Also, one thing we haven't even touched on yet, man, is this lottery system. I see. I think this is going to play a big role. In from milestone to milestone, having this lottery system, being active, that's going to be huge for engagement. Tell me a little bit more about it, how it works, what people can do to actually get involved in it.
Yeah. So the lottery is basically the lottery is basically it's kind of it's a lot of projects, they have their kind of lottery system, and it's just really a lottery, right? And it can only be played with their specific token. And in our case, we want to exactly provide a lottery to all the meme coins which are kind of whitelisted inside the game and in the lottery system. And we will use those tokens to also burn their token. But at the same time, we also will be creating reward pools for the users of the lottery. So 20% of all the collected tokens in the lottery will be burned, right? So let's say we collect 1 million ship, then we would burn 200,000, and 300k, so 30%, we would drop into a reward pool where users can basically stake their ship, and they can earn ship through staking / reward pools.
I love it. And since we're on the topic of, I guess, that side of things, I would love to talk a little bit more too. So is in the white paper, I happen to see that that Elmo token is also going to be one of the native tokens of the ecosystem as well. I mean, tell me a little bit more about how it's going to interact in it.
Well, I mean, the idea of MMA token and mainly MMA token in the game, but also Elmo tokens, is that assets will simply be cheaper in dollar value compared with other meme coins, right? That's what we would call a native token in the system, in the ecosystem, because it's just cheaper to buy it with Elmo or with MMA. That's kind of the idea behind it. So let's say you have a specific weapon, which if you would buy it with Pepper would cost you $20. If you would buy it with MMA, it would cost you $15, right? And the equivalent of tokens, of course.
Perfect. That makes sense. All right. So going back into it, I guess a little bit about the roadmap side of things and what's to come in the future for the project. You've mentioned quite a bit, especially one big thing I see there is the on-chain integration, making this all work with the token. Any other thing on the roadmap that you wanted to cover in terms of the vision?
Well, I mean, initially we want to launch it on PC, right? Because that's just on PC you have the best quality, high quality gameplay, and also development-wise, it's much not easier to deliver, but it makes more sense to deliver because you can really give that high quality feel to it on the PC. But one thing we want to do after we have launched it fully on PC and we are satisfied, we also want to create a mobile version for it, right? An on-chain mobile version, similar to maybe some of you people know Call of Duty Mobile, but then Meme Alliance Mobile, right? And you will also have the on-chain integration there, and then Meme Alliance and other tokens will basically be just like the form of payment for assets and so on.
Super cool, man. All right, let's dive into, I guess, a little bit about the tokenomics. It looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, zero tax on the token. How have you guys split this up? Development, rewards, I guess, tell me a little bit more about the tokenomics side, I guess.
Right. So we, as we mentioned, we sold 45% of the supply in the pre-sale. 45% we did in the pre-sale. We will have 10% in the liquidity pool. Then we will have 20% we will have locked for at least 3 months, and they will be as in-game rewards. And we have another 10% locked. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Johnny, you can mention that, because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
what we
I
have
can
there.
go over that. Yeah, so 45% was sold in the pre-sale, 10% for liquidity. Then we have 20% for staking system, and we have 5% for CX listings and 5% locked for team, and 10% for in-game rewards. I think that works out 30. Or
I think that
15%.
works.
Yeah, it's those are the things that are for each of the locks. Yeah, it's 15% right now is locked for staking, because some of them are unlocked because our staking platform is going to be going live for NFT to MMA staking and Elmo to MMA staking right away. So, and then the rest, everything else is locked.
I would love to kind of paint the picture too, guys, because I saw this question kind of coming through. You know, when it comes to the launch today, right, and then obviously releasing some of the beta stages in December. What are some of the plans? Maybe you can walk us through, I guess, a quick roadmap from now until then on some of the milestones that are going to pop out to keep things high energy in there and keep everybody engaged.
Well, today is our launch day, so we'll get through that first 24 hours. And then we plan to roll out the staking platforms within a few days. And then the next release would be the lottery. And then right after the lottery would be the playable public beta. And then we're going to do competitions with that and stuff, and get onboard more users to play it and stuff like that, and encourage people to post videos and all that while we're working on bringing on the on-chain version. And then that's kind of how our next 2 months, I guess, would be. And after that, it will just be continuous, like getting more gamers involved, competitions, and marketing with it.
Yeah, I did happen to see you guys have a variety of planned competitions, which I think is really cool. And then it kind of goes hand in hand with what you're talking about, getting some streamers, getting some gamers involved in that Twitch partnership, coming up in the future roadmap as well. All good things, I got to say.
But we do have some
yeah, go ahead.
Like stuff in the back end going on that will get announced over time. Like we have partnerships with other communities that haven't been revealed, and they will in stages. So we have been onboarding meme communities and just like CX listings and stuff like that. So we're going to be releasing that alpha news as it comes out, just to keep the momentum going.
It's a good segue to talk about launch day strat, right? Everybody's so curious because different teams do it slightly different. Some throw everything at the house, or the whole house at it on day one. And some people obviously have a much longer term, more sustained vision in terms of their approach on launch day. So, I mean, what's the strategy behind the team when it comes to today, making it a big event? Yeah, I guess just tell me about your launch day strat a little bit.
Master Elmo, did you want to go over that, or you want me to?
Sorry, I was focused on something here. You can go ahead.
So for launch day, we did, the typical marketing stuff, and want a successful launch, of course. But we understand like launch hype can only last so long, so we reserve some of the the good stuff for after, and we're actually working with a marketing agency and have planned out, just to keep flowing the momentum until the game is ready. Because too many times, like, projects just focus on the launch day and push everything they have that day, and it's just one giant pump, and then there's nothing to offer. So we are here for the long term, put a lot of time and money into this, so we have a good plan for over the next few months.
I love it, guys. Well, I mean, that's all the questions that I had on my side. I see a ton of questions coming through from the community side, though, but I want to give you the floor again. I know we hit a really high level on like each of the points. And again, guys, I want to encourage everybody. The white paper has a ton of information on it. The website does as well. So if for whatever reason we don't answer any questions today, you can either jump in the Telegram or check out some of the details that they have. But I want to give you guys the floor again before I throw some community questions at you. If there was anything you wanted to recap, feel free.
Maybe about our pre-sale and our team. Like, I'm not sure if it was covered. I think I missed a little bit of it, but we're fully vetted diamond tier pre-sale on GemPad, which that means we had to be KYC'd and audited through Azure DeFi. Two of us are doxed, and then the GemPad team had to research our project, us as individuals, our marketing plans, and deem it sustainable for long-term growth. So we passed all that, no problem. Just so new people that haven't been in our community, they're aware that we're a fully doxed KYC team.
And another point I thought was cool to kind of kick off the community questions. Brain Twister came in asking about how you guys intend to fund the ongoing development that you guys will face. But your team is developing it in house. Am I getting that right?
Partially,
Yeah,
yes.
we did.
But for the
Yeah,
game, for example, we have done almost all the payments already, so we don't have to fund the game much more actually.
Perfect. So like, so I guess in the long run, the long-term vision though is there's going to be enough traction through the marketplace volume and the other products that are going to be featured within this ecosystem and the stuff to be built in the future, and that's going to basically sustain, I guess, ongoing development and that need for money, right?
Yeah, but also we will have revenue from the game in the form of not MMA only, right? We also have a sort of revenue from it, so we will use that also to maintain the game, the servers, do updates and everything. And even if there is not enough revenue, we have our own bags as well. It's not that we don't have money at this point.
I did. I anticipated to see this one. I've seen it throughout some of the questions, just in terms of ad space, in-game ads, anything of that nature. Is this part of the plans as well for you guys?
In-game ads? No, not really. We haven't thought about that because I think that's my personal opinion, right? I think that a game shouldn't have ads. I think a game should be a game, and
I vote for no.
Exactly.
As a gamer, I'm right there with you guys, man. I love seeing a clean gaming space versus a bunch of stuff on the side. So I appreciate that. Let's see here. Swavey was coming through with the question just in terms of, can you share some basic requirements needed to run the game?
Yeah, at this stage it's hard to verify because we are now working on the offline beta, but obviously it will be scalable, right? So you will be able to play with a maybe not as powerful PC as others. You just have to, take down the settings a bit, just like you have in any other computer game. But the idea is that it should be playable on a decent PC. It doesn't have to be an amazing PC or laptop.
Oh, fair enough. Suche had a good one too. It might open up a can of worms for us to talk about in terms of strategy. But having these big names, these big meme token names featured in the game and in your maps as rewards, these are huge communities and projects. How do you plan to collaborate with them so they acknowledge the game?
Well, that's kind of what Johnny covered. We actually already have contact with a couple of meme projects, which we are already kind of in the background onboarding into the game. However, the bigger ones, Pepe and Ship, we already included simply because we know those communities. I mean, communities are not hard to reach, but the team is harder to reach, right? The team is harder to convince sometimes than the community is. Because I'm pretty sure that the Ship community and Pepe community would be happy to play the game, right? But to get the team to acknowledge the game, it's going to be a harder thing. But that's not something we need, to be honest, to be able to be successful as well. If they will do it, obviously it will be a great success for us. But our focus to now is not to go for the meme coins only that are in the hundreds of millions of market cap, but also the smaller ones. Like right now, we are working with a a meme coin in the background which doesn't have a 10 million market cap even, right? But it's an established community, and established communities is what counts for us, and projects that don't scam people, right, or rug pull. We don't just list everybody, but we actually do our review of a project. But there's no requirement for a project to be a specific size, right? We just want them to be honest projects. We want our communities to be interested in it, and that's all we need.
Very good. I'm going to kind of summarize a question here. Have you found that working with GameFi marketing partners like guilds and whatnot, are they an easy to approach kind of group? Have you guys found success with that kind of marketing avenue?
Well, I mean, we haven't directly contacted them, but we are going to work with a very well-known marketing incubator. So they will have contacts for us in the GameFi, and they will have outreach to the bigger, let's say, influencers as well for us. Because as a project, to try to reach those people as just a starting project like we are in the phase now, it's very hard because they don't generally care about small projects. But we are lucky to have a very strong marketing partner on board, which is going to help us to exactly get those people on board even soon already.
That's such a good point to segue into the next question. Mac Daddy had a question just about, the GameFi space is filled with VCs and, these people that own a large percentage of these projects, with this huge funding. Why did you guys opt to go the way that you did?
Meme communities are for the people, right? And this is a meme-themed gamified project. To be owned by entities would not really fit the theme. And we didn't need VCs to own our project to be successful. So it's for the public.
Very good. I had one that came through from Greek. I haven't verified this one. He says, on your white paper, you mentioned liquidity would be pushed to Uniswap v3, which isn't something that tokens launched in the space have prioritized. What has informed the team's decision to choose Uniswap v3 over the v2, and has it influenced the token success?
Well, I mean, v3 is mainly, I mean, a lot of meme coins, they use v2 simply because, contracts in general are they can take them from anywhere and they can work on v2, right? But v3 is first of all the future, because v2 will be obsolete at a certain point. They will discontinue v2. That's already set in stone, and Uniswap will force people to migrate to v3. So we already kind of took that step forward to not be busy with that in the future. But it's also, v3 is a very good way of giving liquidity providers a stronger position, because in v2 it isn't that strong, right? In v2 the liquidity is like 0.3% fee, and it's not as comfortable and not as user friendly to work with v2 liquidity pools as it is with v3. And I think that's probably the main reason. Scalability in the future, and also allowing people to actually earn nice pool fees on v3.
Very good. I had another one. Exo Nam was asking a question just about, in the future, do you plan to keep this as free to play, or do you plan to make it like token gated for some of the features in the future?
Yes, we are considering some things like a competition pass. So if you want to join competition, you might have to buy a pass for it, right? But like the general gameplay, like a normal multiplayer match, no, we don't plan to block that, for the free to play audience.
Very good, guys. I'm going through some of the last questions here that I was getting sent in, and I think we've covered quite a bit of the topics, but I did want to give you. Hey guys, I think my mic was cutting off there. I'm having audio issues myself here. I had a lot of good questions coming through, guys, but a lot of them that we've talked about. I did want to give you the floor here at the end, though. If there was anything else that you guys wanted to cover, recap, anything like that, please feel free, guys. I know you have the launch coming up in an hour and a half. Huge milestone for the project and all this work, obviously. So I'm excited for you. But if you wanted to leave us with anything, please feel free.
Yeah, so I think it's important for people to know, first of all, that we are a safe project, and I know everybody can say that, right? But we actually have been in the space and working on, for example, Elmo URC already for over half a year, right? And you can join our community, and you will see that every single person in our community, they will say that our team is honest, it's transparent, it's safe, right? We don't play around with people's funds, we don't dump on the chart. You know, we are just an honest team, right? We are also people that are not greedy. Like a lot of people in the space are very greedy, so they would want to make a lot of money as soon as possible when they make a project. We don't have that at all, and that is simply because we have money. It's not like it's that we do this to make money necessarily. I think this is more like a thing we do as, first of all, because we like it, but also because we are good friends, you know, inside the team, and we all know each other for quite a while now, and we finally got together to create a project. And for me personally, it's really about having fun, right? Even though it costs me a lot of time, I'm still having a lot of fun, and I personally just hope that a lot of people will have fun of it as well, and finally that they also will make you know, money with it, either by playing or either by trading. And that's all I have to say on top of what we just spoke about.
Well said, man. And I think that was a perfect way to round it out. I love hearing about obviously the passion and the commitment that you guys have had to bringing this to reality. And I know that it'll play well as well. It's reflected in the race, reflected in the community. So you guys are doing a great job at just cultivating that so far up to this point. I'm really excited to watch the launch obviously happening really soon. But again, guys, thank you so much for coming on with us today and sharing it with us, and I guess showcasing it as well with the visuals. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks a lot, and I hope you guys will enjoy the launch as well. It's exciting. So just 1 hour and 27 minutes, we're gonna experience it. I hope you guys will be there.
El Moshi, Johnny, El Mopo, appreciate you guys once again. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck. Once
Take care,
again,
bye.
guys, meme-alliance.com. All the links that you need are in the latest Gollums Gyms post. And for everybody that's been tuning in, that does it for today's show, everyone. Super glad we had the team on, especially right before this launch, just to hear more about the vision for the future, as well as the approach they'll apply. And with the foundation they have set, once again, I'm excited to watch their launch coming up in the next hour and a half.